So let me show you guys the new Defender that was just only launched. Alright, there are two variants that comes into Malaysia, 2-litre petrol and 3-litre petrol. Alright, 2-litre gets 300 horsepower and 3-litre gets 400 horsepower. Now, this, even though it's named Defender, even though it is just as capable as the old Defender, if not more, what they have done now is think of it as a G-Wagon competitor, but built in a monocoque platform, in an engine that is reasonably sized. 3-litre with 400 horsepower is all that you need actually, and arguably it could outperform the G-Wagon in every measurable way. Alright, it's not as big or as bulky as the G-Wagon because the G-Wagon sits on a leather frame chassis, and that's why it's a lot taller. But this one is a monochrome platform and is even stronger than any leather frame chassis that Land Rover has ever built. In fact, according to Land Rover, it is the strongest car they have ever built. Alright, so what they have done with this car is that the brand essence of Land Rover now is luxury and go anywhere ruggedness, right? So they blend these two things into this car and went to 11 with it. They went to outer space with it. Basically, everything that you can think of, every technology that you can think of that aids off-roading, that aids comfort and luxury, they bet everything that they have into this car. So the positioning of this is a bit unique because if you think of the Evoque, right, and you think of they no longer have the Freelander or the Discovery Sport, and then you went to Velar and of course Range Rover, right? The positioning of this is a bit interesting now because it's not in that range of hierarchy. It's not in that hierarchical thing, because in terms of size, this is just as big as the Discovery, right? If not bordering closer to the big Vogue, right? And the wheelbase is just absolutely massive from the looks of it. Alright, so this car, if you park it next to an X5, right, it is bigger than an X5 actually in terms of footprint. It's actually a very, very big car. And why the wheelbase is so wide? Because they push the wheels all the way to the corners. You can see that. When you push the wheels all the way to the corner, what you get is a crazy approach angle. Alright, all these are calculated by the Land Rover engineers actually. The approach angles of this car is just to the extremes. Alright, see that? And the wading depth is 900 mm. It's almost a meter high. Alright, that's the wading depth of this car. And in terms of technology, right, they went crazy. You sit in the driver's seat, right? You are able to see what is under your car, underneath your entire front hood. Basically, they use technology in such a great manner. The Brits, right? The British people has always been really good with sophistication. All these years, they use sophistication in terms of materials, in terms of construction and all that. But when they apply this thinking into the 21st century with technology, they come up with all kinds of solutions that people just never thought of. So when you do off-road, right, the biggest blind spot is actually the closest to you, because your visibility goes like this, right? So this is one of the big challenges. So what they've done is that they use a camera to record whatever that's coming, and then you can activate a transparent front end. Basically, you can see through it from the screen to see what goes underneath. Very, very innovative. Alright, and of course, cars like these, it's inevitable that you're gonna have a lot of luggage, right? Oh, the door is really chunky. It's inevitable whereby you're gonna have a lot of luggage that fills up to the brim. What they do is, you see this little camera here? This camera is able to project a rear view without being blocked by this. onto your rear view mirror. Alright, so the whole car, every single real estate of this car is being thought out to make it into functional and usable. Think of it as a giant Swiss knife. Alright, so they haven't, they just look through every single thing that they can to make it functional, to make it usable, to make it, you know. And the roof itself, you know, there's never a car's roof that can hold a 300 kilo load, right? They went and did that because they know their owners may want to have a huge cam on top. 300 kilo is a lot, all right? And even the body, the metal of the car was intentionally made to integrate into the cabin. And look at all these, the door panel is screwed onto the metal bit. So inside the car, right, it's a great combination of, you know, luxury leather and all that. And then on the other hand, you feel all this chunkiness stuff. So the build is just so solid. The whole car feels like a giant Casio G-Shock. Alright, it's just so solid. Yep. And I like how they put all these scuff plate designs here. Like the lights are iconic. The car looks really good, as you can see here, right? And look at this cut off, you know, surface. And over here they have accessories where you can hang a bag over here, you know, really cool. All right, that's the. So both these cars that are on display here are 3 liters, so they put out 300 horsepower. And yeah, I like the looks of it. I really like the looks of it. Now in terms of pricing, everybody's mind will be thinking, oh, Defender, you know, it should remain the Defender pricing. Impossible. It's impossible to expect a car that has been that has went through such. Oh, how do I adjust this? Anyway, I'm just gonna ride on. Look at this, these plates and all that. Right, this is a very nice cabin. Look at that, that's the panoramic roof. And look at all these things. You don't see these things in other cars being intentionally built into the car. So it's almost like a little canopy view that goes out when you're seated at the back. And it is these things that makes a car nice. You can feel the effort of the engineers, you know, of the people who develop these cars, that they put into the car. So these are very nice. The technology of this car is just mad. The stuff that they have, as we all know, Land Rover, you have the terrain select that it allows you to go like snow, sand and all that, right? And they just went all out. All right, look at the center console. It's so wide. It allows you to put so many things. And look at that. How do you judge the segment positioning of this car now, right? All right, you don't judge it by size anymore because it's just something so different. And then in the passenger side, you see the large open compartment. That metal back there with the Defender signage is actually part of the car's structure that was made visible into the cabin. This is how I really like the Brits when they put in their hearts to do something unique, right? Look at that. Let me come here. Look at this. This is just so damn cool. The doors over here, just handles over here, and then this thing that oh, this is just so cool. There's a little charger over here. Alright, the screen actually floats here. See, you can pass my hand through, you can put stuffs behind. And over here, these are LEDs that will light up when they give you different modes. And then here you have a USB-C port, you have a nano SIM, USB, another 12-volt socket, and this is a floating console as well. You can put loads of stuffs over here. Alright, and then these are the cup holders. These are chunky, nice plastics. Lovely. And then over here you have another decor console. storage solutions. Look at the screws, they are they're intentionally made to be visible over here. And these touch sensitive panels are very interesting. They don't feel like screens, you know. So all these here, you know, you can hold with your hands. Heads up display over there, and then this actually blocks, you know, additional sunlight coming in. Very nice touch. Look at all that. I really like the interior of this. Alright, lovely. Now for a car like that, just think about it. This amount of off-road capability, right? This amount of accessories that you can accessorize this car, and the way it looks, the styling and all that, it's not cheap. Alright, but it's also because it's not supposed to be for everyone, right? It's not supposed to be that. So I would say the name itself, you know, Defender, people might be thinking, oh, might have a rough estimation of costs. Let me tell you this, the 2 litre starts from just under 800,000 and the 3 litre starts from just under $1 million. Yes, this is no longer, and you know, the positioning is not what it used to be, but I would say what it is capable of justifies the price point. Don't forget, it's fully imported, alright? Will we see the day whereby these cars are locally assembled? Because I really like how they look. Now think of it this way, if this is a competitor of the G-Wagon, arguably more capable than the G-Wagon, alright? By being, what, 400,000 cheaper? Is that justified? It's not cheap, alright? By no means it is affordable, but I think when you compare whatever that is out there, this is, yeah, pretty cool, pretty cool. Remember the 3 litre turbo X5 used to be 700 over 1,000. Yeah, just remember that. And when you look at a 900k price point, you compare this to a, I don't know, a Cayenne S maybe. Yeah, then you get the idea of where this is heading, right? And I think this is uber cool, very, very cool. All right, I can't wait to test drive the car to give you all a better report. Here's the end of the launch report. All right, full specs. The specs are fully loaded. Every technology package that this car has comes equipped with it. So in a way, I think it's all right. All right, for how unique this is. All right. Yeah, if your budget is 500k, sorry, you can't afford this. You see, that's the idea of this car. All right. Cheers.